This is AI TV News. The Atlantic hurricane season is suddenly busy, and forecasters are watching two systems whose proximity is making the outlook unusually tricky for Florida and the entire East Coast. First, Tropical Storm Humberto. As of Thursday, September 25th, Humberto is roughly 480 miles east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands with sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. Gradual but steady strengthening is expected. The storm should reach hurricane strength this weekend and could become a major hurricane, Category 3 or higher, early next week. Current projections bend Humberto northward between Bermuda and the U.S. mainland. That keeps the center offshore, but its broad wind field will send powerful swells toward the shoreline. Expect dangerous surf, life-threatening rip currents, and pockets of minor coastal flooding from Saturday through much of next week. Closer to the United States sits Invest 94L, a disorganized but growing tropical wave now spreading heavy rain and gusty winds across Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. The system has a high chance of becoming a tropical depression or storm named Imelda if it reaches that threshold, once it reaches the warmer waters near the Bahamas. Residents from South Florida through the Carolinas should pay close attention over the next several days, as even small changes in strength or steering currents could shift the eventual track toward or away from the coast next week. The real wild card is a rare dance called the Fujiwara effect. When two tropical cyclones move within about 900 miles of one another, their circulations can start to orbit a common center, much like two figure skaters spinning around clasped hands. Described a century ago by Japanese meteorologist Sakuhei Fujiwara, the phenomenon is far more common in the Pacific, but it does happen in the Atlantic. The most recent notable case involved tropical storms Philippe and Rina in 2023. If Humberto and the future Imelda draw close enough, several scenarios become possible. Scenario 1, the stronger of the two, likely Humberto, pulls the weaker cyclone into its flow and eventually absorbs it, nudging everything seaward. Scenario 2, the storms are of comparable strength and pinwheel around each other before slingshotting off in different directions. Scenario 3, the least common, they merge into a single larger storm with an even broader wind field. Each outcome carries a different set of risks for the United States. Should Humberto dominate, much of the impact may remain offshore, limited mainly to surf, rip currents, and coastal erosion. If, however, the developing system intensifies quickly and keeps its own identity, it could ride the periphery of Humberto's circulation and angle back toward land, increasing the chance of a direct strike somewhere along the southeastern or mid-Atlantic coast next week. Regardless of which path unfolds, certain effects are locked in. Surf and rip currents. Large, long-period swells from Humberto will pound beaches from Florida to New England. Even experienced swimmers can be caught in rip currents. Heed local beach flags and lifeguard warnings. Coastal flooding and erosion. Onshore winds and high astronomical tides will combine to push water onto normally dry land, especially in inlets and low-lying barrier islands. Heavy rain. Deep tropical moisture funneling between the two systems could drop torrential downpours over parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic, raising the threat of flash flooding far from the coastline. To recap, Tropical Storm Humberto is expected to become a major hurricane, but should stay offshore. Invest 94L is the system with greater landfall potential, and a possible Fujiwara interaction keeps the forecast highly uncertain. Review your hurricane plans, stock up on essentials, and stay tuned to official updates. The next few days will determine whether these storms perform a harmless dance at sea or bring more serious consequences ashore.